Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It's Monday. It's usually a Sunday when I'm doing these, but it's Monday, May 31st, Memorial Day in the US. And special shout out to all the servicemen and women out there that sacrifice so much for the US, and of course, same goes for Canada as well. Although we do have Veterans Day, which is another day on the calendar. So anyway, let's do what we normally do on a Sunday. We take a look at the week that went by, see how things went in the markets, and then we look ahead and try to figure out where things might be going from here. Look at a few watch stocks as well. So let's get down to it, shall we? Hey guys, it's Brian, and of course, now before we get started here, as always, I like to start out with my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade Strategies I Use to Find Profitable Trades, if you're interested in checking that out. So let's get started here. Let's take a look at the week that just passed. Of course, we had getting through a long weekend here. It was a interesting week. We had a lot of the meme stocks taking off again. GME, AMC were big ones. Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry, all those ones that were hot back in January, February just seem to light up again here. So anyway, let's, as always, start out with the bonds, the treasuries, just see where we are this last week. And you can see here, pretty choppy price action, no real major movement one way or another. And yeah, so we're still looking for some direction on the yields. On the 10-year treasury yield, you can see here pretty much flatlining after this big run up into the the middle or to end of March there, and no real movement since then. So again, if we start, it looks like we're weakening up here. If we do start to drop down again, of course that will be good for the technology sector. So watch XLK and XLC if we do see this interest rate on the 10-year drop below 1.5% again. That'll be help for the market as well, for sure, especially the growth sector like the QQQs. So again, here's the transports. We just seem to be still definitely in an uptrend here. You can see here stochastics are starting to turn up again. Again, we had this sell-off. We basically held this 15.5 level, and now we're just looks like we're heading back up again. On the week, we're up, almost 2%, 1.75% here. So transports continue to strong, and that's bodes well for the market. The Dow, again, we're trying to get back up to this previous high. We're pretty close to it, but you can see here, we're putting in a bit of some indecision candles, but again, we're just seem to be slow grind higher here, and you can see here. After these last previous 2 weeks, we'd had a nice up week here, 1% on the Dow. And again, trend is still your friend, and that trend is upwards. The Qs maybe is not doing quite as well as the SPY and the Dow. You can see here on Friday we had a bit of a reversing candle, gravestone doji, whatever you want to call it. Had a bit of a sell-off on Friday, but on the week, I believe we were up. Yeah, we were up 2% here on the week. So again, the trend is still higher after this bit of a pullback. And I would say watch the Qs, especially if we could continued weakness in those yields. You can see here the volume's really dropping off. This last week I kind of discount because it was a week leading into a long weekend. Again, here with SPY, we are really flirting with this high that we put in back beginning of May. And again, we had a pretty decent week on the SPY, up 1.25%. Again, volume was pretty light, but we'll see if volume picks up again as we get into some normal trading weeks here. The IWM, again, just really super choppy. This is the index that's really been struggling to find direction here, selling off, coming back, selling off again. And on the week, we believe we were up. Yeah, we were up almost 2.5% on the week, but still looks, to me, still looks range bound. This 220 or 230 level is really an area that the index is going to have to break through and hold if we're going to get some continuation higher here on the small caps. The dollar Friday had a rough day. Friday actually gapped up and then sold off into the throughout the day and closed down. Still up on the day, but hollow full candle there, meaning we were up on from Thursday's close, but not by much by the looks of it here. So dollar continues to look weak. That would be good for gold, energy, emerging markets, and the volatility. Again, that tells the story. Not a lot of fear in the market of a big sell-off, but again, we seem to be kind of stuck in a topping range with earnings season over, and just not sure what the catalyst is going to take us higher. So again, sort of into a choppy market scenario. And here's Bitcoin. You can see here, it actually is putting in this is obviously double bottom pattern. This is a pattern I've talked about in my book and often trade with, both day trading and swing trading. We'll see if we do get a continuation here, or if this is just an ABCD pattern, because now that second bottom has been established, we'd be looking for that to hold and continue higher. We do have some MACD crossing and turning up here, stochastics crossing and turning up, so maybe we have found a bottom on the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and usually the rest of them move with Bitcoin. So you can see here on a weekly, again, the question is this an ABCD pattern? We're going to find another leg lower here. I would say 20,000 would be, if we really lost 30,000, 20,000 would be the next level I'd be looking at for support, but that's 30,000. It would have to drop below 30,000 first. So again, they're hard to say where Bitcoin is going right now, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Okay, starting out with the actives here. This is one trade I took on Thursday. I was looking at Airbnb. I like the way it was holding this 130 level. So rather than take it long, I actually sold some puts, which is essentially assuming this is going to hold the 130 level, selling some puts, taking in the premium. This is call or puts that'll expire at the end of this week, and just hoping that the price stays above this 130 level, which it seems to have found a bottom here. And so I'll just collect the premium, and hopefully they'll expire worthless at the end of the week, and I'll just keep the money. So that's the one trade I'm doing, options trade I'm doing. And that works well in markets that tend to be choppy, as well as if you can find bottoms or tops, you can sell puts or calls against them. So picked up a bit of this Aqua last week. Don't have a lot of shares there, but I did sell most of them after it got back to this level where I suspected it would have some resistance, this 3150 level, which goes back to this level here. So nice little trade there. Ford, so I've been in long in this since back in January. Sold or bought some $10 calls that expire next year, January 2022, and had a really nice run just recently. Sold some of them. Actually, I've sold most of them now, just because I didn't think that pop's going to be sustainable. We're going to get a bit of pullback. Fuel cell, like the way this was breaking out here. Again, like the alternative energy plays. Fubo, took a trade last week on it on Tuesday after it looked like it was breaking out here. And again, got a nice move up and sold some of that. This is the way I'm playing the gold trade on the Canadian side. Clean energy, ICLN, been in this for a while since it started to break out back here. And still in that. LAC, again, another clean energy trade breaking out here. Got long last week. Tech A, I'm in as well here. Again, a materials trade, looks like it's breaking out. Materials and clean energy are the ones I'm liking particularly right now. And again, just holding on to some gold and silver as well. Willow, just a long-term hold here. And I don't think, I am in GDX as well. On the US side, this is the gold miners. So those are some of the holds I've got right now. Let's take a quick look at the sectors. Candles at a glance here. And you can see SPY again kind of struggling to break out here, but no sign of a pullback either. The discretionary put in a double bottom here. We've come back up, filled this gap, and probably going to churn in a range here as well. I'm thinking communications tried to break out, pulled back, and we'll be keeping an eye on both the communications and the technology. I think, again, as I said, if we start to see the interest rates on the 10-year and the longer dated treasuries start to fall, watch for this to start to move back up again, the XLK, and you can trade that XLK or TQQQ, which is a beta ETF for the Qs. Industrials, again, right at the near the highs, looking good. Materials still looking good here. We're still on an uptrend. Energy kind of flat right now, although it is holding this 52 level. Watch for more strength in that, especially if the dollar continues to weaken. And healthcare just continues to struggle here. The REITs are, real estate's still doing well. And the financials, I don't really, I see maybe strength in the economy. Financials are doing well, but if the interest rates start to drop, typically financials do not do well in the dropping interest rate environment. So I'd be, even though this does look like it's putting in an ascending triangle, and usually out of these ascending triangles you get a break higher. Again, I'd be keeping an eye on interest rates to see if that does play out. So let's see what we got coming up for earnings reports. Again, we're getting towards the end of the earnings season. Most of the big names have reported, but we still do have some earnings coming out this week. We've got Zoom. That'll be interesting. Bank, Scotiabank. There's really DocuSign might be interesting. But yeah, again, we're getting Slack could be interesting. But we are getting we have been gotten through most of the earnings now, and so we're just getting dribs and drabs of stuff here. But Zoom will be interesting on Tuesday after the close, for sure. And then we've got Hewlett Packard, obviously, as well here. So a couple of names to keep an eye on. Cloudera will be interesting too. C3, the AI one, will be interesting. Okay, so let's wrap things up here by taking a look at where we are with the pre-markets right now. You can see here we're pretty flat on all of the futures right now. You can see the Dow is up 28 points, a couple points on the S&P, 10 points on NASDAQ, and the Russell really just flatline basically. In terms of what we got going on for commodities, natural gas, oil, gold, silver all trading up. It looks like maybe the US dollar is trading down a bit right now. And some of the treasury is actually interesting. Or you watch up a little bit here, over 1.6% now on the 10-year. So a little bit of a move up here. We'll see if that sticks by the open and through the day. But again, if the 10-year starts to go up, watch the Qs to sell off, and possible financials will benefit from that. So that's it, everybody. I hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend. Got out, and things are really starting to feel like they're almost sort of getting back to normal. And I hope, like I said, hope everyone had a good weekend, and many more to come, hopefully, in the coming weeks ahead as we get into the summer and get past all this COVID craziness. So yeah, that's it. And we'll see you all in the morning at 8 o'clock. Jared will be leading us off with Engineering the Markets at 8 o'clock live on YouTube. 8:30, Norm and Carlos should be back and leading us through the pre-market show, looking at things that are moving and shaking, maybe some more meme stock action here next week or tomorrow morning. And then, of course, Trading the Market 9:30. We'll hopefully see you all then. Good night, everybody, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.